Hello beautifuls, my name is Epic Treasure, welcome to the channel. This video is one that I've been searching for everywhere on YouTube. I could not find it, but I remember I reacted to it and I did an analysis, which I will do absolutely as soon as they drop the reveal of the Tides of Terraria content. So you come sit down with that one and we're going to break that one right apart. So this video here was one that showed pre-Faybreak items, right? So we got to see the healing pods, we got to see the omoskull, we got to see that in the background, the medicine shelf. But what we never got to see was this surgery table, right? You remember that? You're going, oh my God, what is this all about? And then we got SPLATTERINA in the game, and all she's sort of really done is run around in the base and do handiwork. You know, like, what is her story? She's this murderous, butchering pal. But here, she's having this moment where she's got a cadaver on a table. Now, let me just mention that recently Bucky showed a little teaser of the Terra Prisma weapon. And there was also a cadaver tied up in one of the traps there. So I don't know what the go is with cadaver and their existence, but there's two items that have been found, we'll just say by rumor and speculation in the game, which are the following. So let me just close that screen down. Okay. And I'm going to read it to you. Let me read these two objects to you. Ready? So, one of the items is listed as this: a PAL surgery table. A facility where surgery can be performed on PALs to change their gender and or passive skills, right? So the other item also pertains to the butchering of PALs, and it's called a scrap tissue sample under the materials section, listed as pulverized remnants of some kind of biological tissue, leftover residue from butchering a genetically reconstructed PAL. It serves no purpose and can be sold or discarded. So it's like a biological waste bin in purple. That's what it's shown as. So let me bring back the other screen. And we're going to watch this trailer again. Now, this is the only footage I have of it because I don't know why we can't find it, but anyway. So there's her moment. That's the table that we do not have currently. The surgery table. The light is not connected to it. It's a standalone one, I think. I could just bring it back. And just slowly do this. She's laughing. That poor cadaver's passed out. And I don't think it's attached to it. I mean, very well might be. But remember, there's 3 new lights in this game also in the, apparently, new content. I do think one of them will be a lantern, though, given that it's Terraria. But not saying that this is definitely going to be in this DLC, but those things are certainly hanging around. And like I said before, it's like, well, what is SPLATTERINA all about? We don't really know because people, like I said, have just been using her as a handy worker, and that's about it. So this was, like I said before, the pre-Faybreak little teasing moment. And like I showed in the other videos, they had some very dark scenes. They had where these Grisbolts were strapped to a table. They were literally in this sort of dank torture chamber, strapped to tables. So we've gone dark here. So we'll see when this comes out. But right now, those particular items are in existence but not accessible. I think that's the only item in the game that in the preview trailer that we haven't seen yet. So that should excite a lot of people who are very much into breeding, especially when you can only find pals of one gender over and over and over again. And especially re-rolling passives. Perhaps with Dr. Braun, Maybe they tested the waters to see how many people wanted to re-roll breeds and things like that. I'm not sure, but Dr. Braun was kind of a flash in the pan, and so growing on that change of passives is an amazing thing, because breeding and doing gold roll breedings and things like that can just take so much time and so much effort, that having a production thing where you can change the actual passives is just incredible. So we'll see. And like I thought, I think that maybe Splatterina does do Frankenstein stuff. I mean, if you check the channel, I recently put up this, horror story about Splatterina. It's a 2-part thing, and about something that was in a live stream. We're talking about what are your wishes in the game. And so one of my wishes was to have the ability to have a mythic creature appear on the map, like a seasonal type of thing, right? So there'd be like a flash in the sky or something like that to sort of herald there is something on this map. Now go look for it, like an Easter egg. And then Bard was in the chat at the time, and then he just mentioned egg, and I'm like, oh, well, that's actually better. Instead of having a mythic creature, to have this golden egg that appears somewhere on the map. I mean, a mythic creature would be easier to find instead of a golden egg, but I thought that would be really cool. So in this horror sort of story about Splatterina, which is very, it's got nothing to do with her real story. It was like it's a fantasy story. That's in it. It's where Splatterina, it's again, nothing to do with Pocket Pair. This is my own sort of world. That Splatterina was after this mythical creature in the world, and she wanted to butcher it to pieces with other pals so she could make it her ultimate mount, and also butchering other pals like a Frankenstein mode, as her own sort of army of darkness. When we started to see these predator pals, I mean, at the end of the day, we only saw these predator pals as just messed up versions of pals we know that just appeared in certain places that made a humming noise, and you grab their cores and see you later. Like, there's nothing that came of it. You know what I mean? So it would have been nice for her to have her story where she did butcher pals and made them totally different. Turned like a normal pal into a dark pal that had nocturnal features or whatever it is, and looks totally different, looks totally evil. That's look at her. She's just chilling around, walking around with rocks at her base, like this was supposed to look like a star of the show. Her aura was so important, and now suddenly she's just running up and down stairs putting honey in a box. So there's that. The other wish that I had, and also is in that horror story, is about utilizing the metal detector in a more purposeful way instead of just for chromite. I mean, you can just use Smokey, for goodness sakes, go to the same cave and pump off a whole bunch of chromite, which you're probably going to need. Check out my video about the shopping list for the DLC. But the metal detector would be amazing to walk along the beaches specifically, and then pick up, like on controller. Controller starts vibrating when there's something there. And you could be picking up legendary items on the beach, for example, like treasure type of things, to make the metal detector useful, not just to find chromite. And also things like, since we've got on this sort of water theme, to have like a message in a bottle, and the message in the bottle is actually schematics and stuff. I could go on and on. This is all we talk about in live streams anyway. So if you do like all this stuff and all this speculation, etc., come on down to the live streams, hit the subscribe button, set your notifications absolutely, because I just appear 5 minutes with 5 minutes notice for some sick reason. And absolutely join the Discord channel. You'll not be sorry with that. There's a trade channel there. You can trade your beautiful, perfect pals with each other, so on and so forth. Now, before I go, I need to take you here. So get on the mount. Actually, we'll fast travel. I'm going to take you to the guild base that I've been doing. And this one here, thank you to Bard for the help with this one too. This is the castle. This is the, what will we call it? The farming castle. I wish I had it just the outside would have been nice. So this is beautiful. And what I've done here is I've just joined these bases together. Instead of having this sort of cold, you know, 5-part base, which I do love. I love the streamlinedness of it. But to have bases dedicated to a specific cause, this case is the farming all in there. And then over here is the brand new one. And I go into detail about all the stuff you need. There's a whole shopping list. There's an Excel spreadsheet on this one too, where this is the ultimate mining base. And this is one that I would absolutely 100% be putting if you want to prepare for the new content, any new content actually. I'd be slapping this one down. In Faybreak, I would be putting it anywhere where there's maybe 2 hexalite. You're not going to be able to do it easily at my beloved triple hexalite one because the terrain is too crazy, I think. Or you could try it. You could try it, give it a go, but it's not going to be pleasant. There's plenty of other places that got 2 hexalite and just go nuts there. I think maybe it's that one. I can't figure out it's that one, or I'm pretty sure it's this one here. Maybe. Where there's 2 hexalite and then there's one that's got hexalite and there's one with the crude oil. But the Night Star sand appears in those places. So you're getting all the goodies. So if you can slap this and show me, I want to see that base if you make it, slap that down there. This is a base that will see you through perpetually. And at night time, it lights up from the inside. All that glass on the top is roofing. So underneath has all the beds are hidden. We don't have to look at the ugly beds. The lighting is under there. You've got a 4-person bedroom. This Anubis is going through the roof. Then we've got all the beds hidden in here. It's a really amazing build. And yes, it will cover all your needs. And as soon as we get new mining stuff, then you just replace the different pits. Big deal. And in that video, it goes into the best passives and the best pals to use. But at night time, like I said, it lights up like a Christmas tree. It is beautiful. So check out the channel for that one. And so that, yes, that's the farming one. And then that's the breeding one. And what's going to happen over here is the pathway that's going to go through this forest. And that will be the medieval guild town. So this place is open to YouTube members to frolic in. And I'll be trying to do a dedicated server for PC, even though it's crossplay with everything like that. Nobody can really build a base because I filled all the base spots up. So having a new one would be lovely. But yes, it has an expedition station too. It fits everything. This is a beautiful base. It's not this just on the dirt boring thing. It has got multiple levels, things that are hidden, and you can put it absolutely anywhere you want. And it has the elevation that can be appropriate for a sort of fiddly terrain. I don't know if it's going to fit on that triple hexalite base, but it could. But again, it's 2-story site. And I suppose if you did want to do on the triple hexalite, just put another floor up and it's easy done. So I'm going to fly over here just so you can have a good look at it. But again, the whole video is on the channel to watch for that one and everything else too. I love and leave you. Stop talking your head off. Let me know what you think about Splatterina and her story. What you think, or when you think, are we going to see her appear? But I'm very much looking forward to having a surgery table and not being able to only breed these passives. It's a nice way to have passives without having to sit there for weeks and weeks and weeks to try and get the most perfect combo. I love and leave you. Have an amazing day or night, and I'll see you soon in the Discord channel.